Good morning to everyone. As I was walking to the hub this morning, and it was a lovely day, and I just kept feeling the word connector kept coming up into my mind. And so, what is it to be a connector? Well, we are all connectors. As soon as we enter into an environment, we have the ability to connect with people. And my thoughts kept thinking about, Jesus was the ultimate connector. First of all, he came from heaven to earth and he spent time here on earth. And what he did, he connected with humanity, but also he connected with his environment that he was in. He wasn't dictated to about where he was. He connected with where he was. And later in life, as he went into his ministry, he connected to each disciple. They weren't people who others chose, but he came and chose to connect with them. And look what those connections brought about. They brought about something that the world is, to this day, still can't get over. And being a connector is what each of us were made to be. So let's look at what being a connector for you is all about. Well, every time you enter your home, you become a connector for your family. Your children respond to you, your wife responds to you. And those, or if it's your flatmates, whatever, you're all connecting in life. And don't dismiss that as something that's really unimportant, because you are important. And one of the areas that we're finding with virtual, obviously there's so many different areas where we can connect now. It's like we plug in here, we plug in there, and we connect by the Wi-Fi, and we've got all these social media platforms, and it's great. But it's not how many connections and friends you have on Facebook. The number might look impressive, but how are you connecting with those individuals? Are you stepping into their environment and getting to know them better and bringing common interest in? And being a life group leader is a prime example of that. Many life groups are small. They have intimate meetings and a sense of maybe 6 to 10 people in them. But that's so important, because actually connection happens better when it's in a small environment. So feeling connected is really, really important. And you can have a plug socket and it can sit there and it's got all the power in it. But if you haven't connected the plug into the socket, then nothing's going to work. And that's what it's a bit like being a life group leader. You have all these connections and you have all these groups. But if you don't connect with the people, if you don't plug in to the people, then you're not going to get anything out of that, apart from maybe a like or something like that. But once you connect into people, you suddenly see an exponential growth of relationship coming out of that. So if you feel as a leader that things aren't growing and you are finding it really difficult, I encourage you to relook at the connections you have and ask yourself this question: am I plugging in to the source? And am I plugging into what God is doing in my life? And one thing I know for sure is that, we hear it many times. People say they go along the road and they smile and the other person smiles back. That's connection. And we mustn't be too unsure about what connection is. So if you go onto your Facebook, your life groups, and you lead them, just remember that every time you walk into a room, you're becoming a connector. So, you know, in some ways it's down to you. It's down to you how you approach that. But I love it as we build life groups, as we meet together, that, you know, if there's 6 of us, there's 6 connectors. And then if you can imagine the multiplication that can come out of that, if we have the mindset to be connectors. So just remember, Jesus was the ultimate connector and is the ultimate connector. But we are the hands and feet, and we have the opportunity to connect to so many people. So I encourage you, be that connector today.